was on fire and no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you.
Hi. Hey, Lisa.
And I never dreamed that I knew somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart.
Michelle, we're deaf.
No, I don't wanna fall in love with you, with you. What a wicked game to play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do to let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say you never felt this way.
It's a good song.
What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you.
Sitting in rice.
And I want to fall in love. No, I want to fall in love with you.
Ooh, but this is a good part. This has a... Hi, Molly. Thank you.
The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make somebody like you.
Sorry.
And I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. No, no, I want to fall in love. I want to fall in love with you. With you. No, nobody loves no one.
Hey, everybody. Lots of people on there to say hi to. Hi, Jeff Metzger, Sean Palma, Mary Carson, Carlin, Jim, Mitch, Elizabeth, Peter, Miranda, Molly, Danny, Enriqueta, Karen, Gina, Lisa, Janelle Michelle Burdell, and another Gina. What a day this has been. That is a recording that we did with Cookie Marenko at Blue Coast Records in Belmont, California. Rolf on guitar. It's a Chris Isaak tune by the name. It's titled Wicked Game. I've had a wicked day, but originally today, Rolf and I were supposed to be playing at the Livery in Benton Harbor, Michigan. And we are not. So, I made different plans for the day, like cleaning a closet and organizing and doing, deep cleaning, because it's kind of my first day back into the world a little bit more every day. And I decided to deep clean my kitchen. So I put on some Joni Mitchell, and I was messaging with Dave Love. What are you playing right now? Oh, I'm going to play some James Brown. Oh, I'm going to play some Jackson Brown. What are you going to play next? Oh, I'm going to play some Kenny Loggins. Back and forth. And then we watched Monty Alexander, which was fabulous. Monty, oh, I loved your show today. It was so great. So I'm just, cleaning away. And my blender needed a little extra cleaning. So I cleaned it. I took it apart, and the top of it's broken, and so I got in there and was with a toothbrush, brand new toothbrush, and cleaning it. And then I thought, it's clean, but I'm going to put soap in the blender and close it, and then really make sure it's clean. So I do that, and I have a shelf, and I have my phone on the shelf above my blender. And the blender, I made a blackberry compote today, and then I made a blackberry smoothie. So there's still a little blackberry action going in the blender. And I turned on the blender, and the top broke, and it went everywhere. So I have a new art exhibit in my home, and my phone gets blasted with water, including the speaker. So now I'm using Jeanette's phone to call Rolf, and Jeanette's phone to listen to Wicked Game. And I was on the phone with my Mac man, Jeremy Falk, in Los Angeles, texting him at first, what happens if and he's like, the rice isn't going to do anything, because rice just gets into the mechanism, and you probably have a couple hours to deal with your phone. And so I have it in rice, it's plugged in, it's all that stuff, and I uploaded other stuff from my iPad. And anyway, I don't know what anybody's saying since I told you this story, but happy Saturday night, Scary Mary. Hi, Joey McDonald. I love you, man. Can we just need to hang out. My little chosen cousin, Joey. So that's my story. That's, needless to say, the rest of my kitchen didn't get cleaned, and I didn't finish the closet, and the floor didn't completely get done, but I spent a good 2 hours with Mac Man. If you have any problem ever in your Mac, on your Apple, any piece of Apple that you have, Jeremy Falk, MacManNow.com. Hi, Eddie Dixon. I want you on the show too. Okay, so next thing I need to happen is I need to burn some Palo Santo, because my phone is a blip with what we're dealing with right now in this world. And yeah, it's scary. And I think I want to call Rolf. And I'm glad that you're here. And I hope that you had a great day with your family. I know Gina had a crawfish boil with her family, and Lisa made pretzels. I saw your pretzels. And Jeanette made pizza tonight, and Mitch put up blinds for my mom, and I'll be cleaning blackberry off of my ceiling for a little while. It was fun. Your crawfish boil. Did anybody end up making an omelet today? Wasn't that beautiful, Gina? Thank you so much for that. That was so cool. That was just so cool. All clad, all the way. Calphalon, love my Calphalon, but... And you know what I love right now is this wine that Jeanette gave me tonight with a couple pieces of cauliflower pizza. But my last flight on Virgin America, I flew first class, and I looked at the flight attendant, and he goes, "Girl, put that in your bag, and here's a bottle of champagne to go with it." So he gave me 2, and I gave one to my sister. The omelet, oh yeah, you're going to do the omelet tomorrow. Well, she's going to come on tomorrow in the morning, so if you guys want to learn anything specific, or you have a question about any food, she's willing, but I'll just give you a hint. She had crawfish tonight, and tomorrow it's going to be integrated into something really great. So at 11:11 tomorrow, we're going to have a crawfish surprise. Crawfish surprise. Okay, so I'm using somebody else's phone right now while my phone sits in rice, and I need to find her password to get onto her phone. Her being Jeanette, she being Jeanette. Where is your number? 0? Oh, sorry. And there's that. And now I'm going to call. Hi, Todd. Hi, Rich. Mr. Rolf Stern.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good. Good. Well, I'm here with just a few people, about 19 people. And
Great.
I played Wicked Game. And
Okay.
I told my story of my blender, my battle with the blender and my iPhone tonight.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, Rolf Sturm. Let's see, how do we get him here? Can you see? You're a little bright.
You want me to? I can cut off a light.
Okay, let's see. Ginger.
This is probably too dark now, huh?
No, that's actually better.
Okay.
If you're cool with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up, I figured out, although I still don't have my, anyway. I'm just going to add another book here.
So these are different digs for you. This isn't your apartment?
This is my apartment in Michigan, but not my apartment, but yeah. Rich Covert says hi. Jim Chang says hello.
Hello.
John from Willits. People are coming from all over the place to be here tonight. Ginger Flower in Sonoma. So, hi, Rolf. Hi,
hey there.
David.
I hope you're feeling better.
I'm feeling much better. I
Great.
have a little glass of wine.
Yeah, well,
First glass of wine I've had in a month, probably.
Yeah, sometimes we're not feeling well. As fun as wine can be, it just is not the right thing, and your body probably tells you that, you know.
So Lisa's calling or saying hello from NorCal. We have a Petaluma. We have a Benton Harbor.
Great.
Don Weller. Yeah, lots of people here. Tell us where you're at. Where you are at this moment.
I'm in upstate New York, in beautiful Kerhonkson, New York. It's a tiny town. For those of you who know anything about New York State, from New York City, you drive up the thruway about an hour and a half to New Paltz, turn left, and go up over the Shawangunk Mountains, and down the other side is Kerhonkson, which is where I am right now. And I have a little cabin home that's on a dirt road, and I've been here a little over 2 weeks, maybe almost 2.5 weeks now. And on my way up, I picked up a good friend, Nolan Kennedy, and he's an actor in Strike Anywhere, which is Lee Walker's theater company, improvisational theater company, and she came up about 5 days later. And so the three of us have been spending time here cooking and getting some work done. And
they cook. Oh, my goodness, they cook.
Yeah. Tonight was leftovers night. We had so many choices, but and we're contemplating tomorrow taking a trip back down closer to the New York City area to try to visit our 3 different places and get some other things that we had left behind. Not sure how long this would last, but I think that with all 3 of our places, it's basically just us getting into our apartment. So it's gonna, as long as we have, we'll wear gloves, and we'll have isopropyl alcohol or something, and we'll be very careful about things, just getting in and getting back out again.
So it's so. I mean, where do you even start? Wow.
Well, up here because it's pretty much in the woods.
That's why I have this particular photograph behind us tonight, because it reminds me of Kerhonkson.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, I've been getting up every day and doing my little stretches and exercises, and there's a loop that's sort of a tree-lined loop so that I can jog. It's about 2 miles or so, and I kid around. I don't really jog. I mean, I basically fall forward and catch myself with alternating feet, but I make it around the loop, and it's good to be outdoors a little bit if I can, and luckily up here you can, and you don't run into anybody else. And the few people that I do see out who are walking their dogs or something will always be on opposite sides of the road, or this, so we're all being very careful. Tonight, Nolan started a little bit of a campfire down next to the house. We have a little campfire area, and so he and Lisa are down there and hanging out and enjoying the moon. It's a very bright moon tonight, and we're hearing the owls and the tree frogs that are all going crazy.
Isn't it incredible how much more you hear them now?
Oh yeah.
I'm hearing in St. Joe when I'm walking out. Coyotes the other night, they were having a party. Lillian and I started walking towards the bluff, and they were like, I'm like, dude, no, we're going to just stay in the street. We're going to walk. You're going to go to the bathroom in the street tonight.
Yep. Yeah, small dog, not a match for a coyote.
No.
So definitely. But yeah, everyone up here, we've all been healthy and well and safe. And I hope any of the folks that are tuning in, I hope that they're all healthy and safe.
Well, David Tronzo just tuned in.
Oh, bless you. Hey, David. I don't see you, but it's really good to know that you're here. I do listen to you on YouTube every now and again. I love your playing, as you know. So it's great. And I'll probably actually listen to some of him maybe tomorrow, too. I was just before you called, I was listening to Keith Jarrett from a 1993 Tokyo concert, his trio, and they were playing I Fall in Love Too Easily. Just a beautiful rendition.
Too terribly fast.
Yeah.
Well,
they do it. Huh?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, this is sort of an aside, sort of inside baseball, but in a lot of real books they have it in the key of E flat, but it seems like the Keith Jarrett trio does it in C, down a minor third. It just sounds really well there. It resonates well. I was just noticing that before you called it. That's what my head was at.
We should try that sometime.
Yeah,
I love that tune.
Great, yeah. I don't know it that well, but I'm just really appreciative of hearing great musicians play it.
Have you been playing every day? Are you practicing?
Sure. Yeah. In fact, I'm playing quite a bit. Recently I've been working on a lot of new chord substitutions, extensions, and alterations, and so and different string groupings. So it's I'm trying to expand my vocabulary so that I can, whenever I see a standard chord progression go by, I have enough options, either above it or below it or all around it, so that I don't have to necessarily play the actual chord that's written at all. And you have a parallel chord progression that still works with the melody and still works with the essential shape and direction of the harmony of the song. And that's been really a challenge and really fun. It's been something that I've been doing every day up here.
Lovely. Wow. Well, the last time Rolf and I saw each other, we were in Mexico.
Yeah, playing in Mexico, right?
We performed at the San Pancho Music Festival.
Yes.
The last
Twice.
weekend in February, 2 nights. Well, Friday night and then Sunday night.
Yeah. And we had so many. I think we had 5 or more different little tours that were lined up after that, between that then and now, or a week or two from now, and all of them had to be canceled.
Yeah.
It was it's just too bad. But as horrible as that is, it could be a lot worse for us. And I'm sorry that you were feeling ill, and that's horrible. But I hope that you're through it and feeling better, and that's what's important, really.
I was feeling pretty good until about 7 o'clock tonight, but yeah.
Oh.
Just because of my phone. A blip.
Okay.
And you lost a dear friend.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've a fellow teacher. There's a music school in upstate New York where I teach just one day a week, and a fellow teacher. But this was not COVID-19 related.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
She was battling melanoma, and she'd been battling it for a few years, and
she was really great. I loved meeting her. We talked for a long time that night after the session, after our Hoff Barthelson. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, it sounds like you're not, but it's exactly right.
Barthelson performance.
Yeah, in Scarsdale, New York. And Janet Rice was just a tremendous bassoonist. She played jazz, and she played Brazilian music, and she also played classical music. And I taught her son guitar for a little bit. But yeah, it was a real loss for the community. It still is.
Definitely. Yeah, I remember we talked about, I have a dear friend in the Bay Area by the name of Paul Hansen. And when I mentioned that I was friends with, Paul Hansen, oh my gosh, we've always wanted to be, and it was one of those,
nice.
Good connections. So I think good thoughts for her. She was a really nice woman.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions? Hi. I'm saying hi to other people keep popping on that I really like to talk with. By any chance, if there are any questions, but everyone's saying they're sorry about your friend.
Oh, me too.
And other friends, people keep popping in and out. That's the interesting. It's silent, they just kind of roll on, and you're sitting here, and I'm.
But in this day and age, in this particular circumstance, what we've got is for a lot of people is the internet and is communicating this way. And so if you can just type something to someone or even call someone. I mean, I've made a few phone calls, and I've certainly sent emails out to a bunch of friends, some of whom I haven't spoken to in quite a while, just to kind of check in and find out, hopefully they're safe and healthy and doing okay. So
that's good.
It's a time to get caught up, a little bit.
Caught up and creative and...
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you're walking. I know that path that you're walking because I did it a couple times with Colin and Andrea and.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have your guitar near you right now, by any chance?
It's in the room, but I don't know I don't know what it'll sound like. I tried just doing some recording on the telephone, and it just didn't sound all that well to my ears. The EQ. But I do have it here. I mean, I suppose I could do something, but I would just have to send out apologies to whatever the sound is over the internet.
My friend David Dodd just asked if you could demonstrate the musical technique you were describing.
Boy, I could try. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can.
Not to put you on the spot or anything. It's almost midnight, but do you feel like...
That's all right. Let me get a...
While I drink my wine.
Yeah, it's not a big room, and it's... So I have a guitar.
Now, which room are you in? Are you in the room in the back, in the front room?
No, I'm in the front room, which is sort of a very light blue room.
Okay.
So, I don't even know if this is in tune.
So Lise, his partner, is a fabulous cook. And Rolf is an amazing sous chef. So the two of them together are, in perfect harmony. And I rode up with Rolf one weekend, and they were having a group of people for her Strike Anywhere. It was kind of a loose meeting. And they were making dinner at midnight, 1 o'clock. And then we'd eat the next day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I gained like 7 pounds in about 3 days. It was so much fun. And that was before we went to Europe, so it sort of padded me for our trip to Europe.
Right.
When we were eating cheese, and I was telling that story the other day, our Amsterdam story. That was a good one.
Oh God, yes. Well, okay, so what I've been working on, if you take the beginning of a tune like Alone Together, let's say, which is a D minor chord, and then it has a 2/5, which then goes back to the D minor. The D minor itself, you could, instead of playing D minor, you could play and then the E minor 7 flat 5 for the 2, you could be playing, and the A7, you have a myriad of things. You could be playing things like back to a D minor 7. So a simple D minor and then the 2/5 by itself would normally sound something like. And then with some of these substitutions, it might sound like. So it becomes a whole nother, almost like a whole nother progression, a whole nother song. And it can take you away from the original chord progression, but still have the same motion and the shape towards whatever resolution the phrase has.
So it gives you more vocabulary within the song.
Yes, absolutely. So you have the basic chord progression of the song, and then any one of those chords may have, they may have a dozen substitutions or extensions or alterations or more. And if you want, you can dance throughout all of these other kinds of chords and substitutions, still maintain basic shape of the harmony, but never actually play the original chord. And ideally, both the melody and or someone improvising over it, it would fit. It provides a different way through a standard tune.
Wow. So you can put that on any tune. I mean, you take that information and...
Yes. The trick, depending on how much you've loaded your brain with different substitutions, is not getting lost from what the original chord was, so you kind of keep your place in the tune as you're flying through all these different substitutions. But it's been a marvelous challenge, and a lot of people have gone down this similar road, but everyone has sort of different approaches to what kind of substitutions resonate with them, or what kind of alterations or what kind of extensions of the chord resonate with them. And frequently that kind of thing of what you find that resonates with you, or what you are going to play and what sounds good to you, is going to help define your voice or your sensibility on your instrument.
Wow, like what Jim Chang just said. He said, "I'm not a guitarist, but that's cool. More ways to stretch." And
yeah, exactly. More ways to stretch, but still maintain your forward motion.
That's cool. Paul Kemp is on now. He says hello.
Oh, great. Hello, Paul. I hope you're well and healthy and safe.
Paul up in NorCal. Hello to
to
the pups and everybody else. Rolf and I play up in a little town called Upper Lake, which is in Lake County, where Lisa and Katie live, and where Paul and Machiko, who are Majide, and we play at the Blue Wing, and which is part of the Tallman Hotel, and we have a really wonderful time when we're there.
Yes, and sometimes Beavis comes to visit us at the end of the night.
Beavis sits in Paul's car, and when we're loading up the car, there's this big dog in the car, just been chilling all night, and Lillian, of course, she's out at the ranch because she thinks she's even a bigger dog, so And Pippa. Hi, Pippa Amick. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see your name, Paul. We look forward to coming back out there and being with you soon. Wow. So that was really beautiful. Do you want to play one more?
But that was just sort of an example of some substitutions.
But it was beautiful.
I mean, I guess I can play.
How about you play something and maybe I'll try to sing along with it and see what happens.
Oh, I know what's going to happen.
So do I, but it could be fun.
I've been doing some online lessons, and usually with almost all of my students, unless they're very, very young, but even those players, I will play along with them on every lesson. And some of the more advanced players who are actually playing jazz standards, and we're talking about all different kinds of things, I've tried doing this on FaceTime. I tried it on Skype, and that was horrible, but I think that it depends on each person's connection. Like, my connection with the internet and someone else's connection. So FaceTime seemed like it was better than Skype for most people that I was teaching, at any rate. And what I discovered, particularly with the more advanced students, is that I would be playing at a certain tempo, and I'd hear them play the melody and then start to improvise, and realize that to me they were about a beat to a beat and a half behind me, depending on what the tempo was. So I would adjust, and then they would adjust, readjust, because they would hear me and they would play along with what they thought they heard, because of what they did hear from their computer, but they were hearing me a beat behind where I was actually playing, so that we would both constantly adjust to the other person. It's really difficult. It doesn't sound that well. I'm afraid it's just not, the connections aren't fast enough these days. We could do something where we could pick a key, like we were just in D minor, and just sort of float in that key and just see what happens if you want to improvise with it, as opposed to actually trying to play it where we're locked into a pulse.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what that's gonna be like.
I'll just sing along with what you've got going. And
okay, all right.
Hi, Eric. I'm just saying hi to people as they float by.
Sure.
People float in and out.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll try not to keep too much of a steady pulse. I'll just kind of try to float a little bit and see how that sounds.
So I'm just curious, Nicole, where do you live? Nicole said, I've played guitar since 5th grade, and it's been a while since I've played. Rolf is amazing.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
And she wished she lived near you to take a few lessons. Both of you incredible musicians. Hello, Cecily. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Lillian's on her way up. Clear the deck.
Here comes the pup.
Come on, Pearly. Come on, baby girl. She in the house. Or go lay down. Or come be on my lap. Okay. So, hi, Cecily. So, I'm sorry. Please continue. Next time Rolf is in St. Joe, which hopefully will be in June. And if it's not in June, hopefully it will be in July. We have a gig set up in June, a concert for the Red Cross. And then Saturday, July 17th, we have a plan to be at the livery, like tonight. And then we will be doing another tour at the end of August in Michigan, the Scully Tour. So we're going to believe that that's going to happen. So Nicole, Nicole, if you would like to get a lesson with Rolf, I think possibly that could happen.
Sure.
You just have to. I mean, I'm saying, anyway. Yeah, and she's thumbs up and smiles and hearts. And Michael Bluestone, wow. Hi, Michael. Anyway, continue. Oh, Serena Yost is here.
Oh, great. Hello, Serena. Oh, my gosh. Now that goes back. we all go back, a fair number of years.
People would like to know how you and I know each other.
Well, it's a good tie-in for Serena Yost, I think.
It is.
So let's see. It's a long, sordid story, but the cliff notes are that I was playing in a band in New York City. I played in a couple of different big bands. This is back in the 90s. I guess I moved to the city around the mid-'80s, and from the late 80s to the mid to late 90s, I played in a number of different groups. And one of them was a group that was playing original music, but a large group. And I think Dave Tronzo was...
was in it.
Yeah, and...
Until he chose not to.
Yeah, because he was in it before I was, and there were a lot of other players. And what happened is that... now, here's where... Jenna, someone you know had contacted the band about doing some music for the Grateful Dead Blues for Allah
Actually, it started, Gary Lambert started, it was his idea from the beginning.
Okay.
And Gary Lambert invited Joe to be a part of the story in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And
right, okay.
people, Stan Frank, Sibylla's husband Stan, and Mike Busby and Nino, and it was a whole crew of Bay Area people were going to do the Blues for Allah project at the Great American Music Hall to do the 20th anniversary for Blues for Allah. And we were rehearsing, and Jerry died. So they put it off from August until November, and we were going to do one night in August, turned into 2 sold-out nights in November, right the week of Thanksgiving. And then it was such a success that Joe wanted to do it in New York. And so Nino and I were part of that scene, and a couple other, Bay Area people came out a couple times, but he had his group in New York that you guys were already established.
Right. And he was I think he was pretty shrewd about this, is that, when he realized that there seemed to be a little bit of a wave with this concept of a large group playing the music of Grateful Dead, he started to arrange more and more pieces, and included some things like from Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, but it was mostly the Grateful Dead. And it was about a 17-piece group or so.
With Serena Yost and Catherine Blunt.
Exactly, because there was a string quartet that was embedded in the middle and front and center of this group. But not only was it a string quartet, but it was also 6 horn players, 2 guitar players, bass, drums, percussion, and the percussionist played vibes. She played vibes and conga and stuff like that. And then there was I guess you and Tony were singing at that point. And in the beginning, it was Ellen
and Nino and I were in that particular ensemble. But yes, it was Gary Lambert's dream band that he, and then David Gans and different people got in. I'm just burning more Palo Santo because I just feel the need to be. So anyway, Rolf and I were in this group, and we started touring. And I never really heard him play because it was so loud. Until one night.
All right. The group was quite loud, and we would travel on a bus. And so it was like having a small village in one little metal petri dish on wheels that was going from town to town. And so late at night, we would do long gigs. The gigs would be 3, 4, or sometimes more hours, 5 hours of playing. And then we'd all pile onto the bus, and the bus driver was supposed to be sleeping while we were playing, so that they could then drive us, the long distance to get to the next gig while we would sleep on the bus. Sometimes we'd have a hotel room, but not frequently. And
sometimes we had a hotel room just to shower in. That was kind of fun. Okay, you guys, we can go shower. 19 of you can go shower in 3 hotel rooms.
Yeah. This is the glory. This is the pulling the sheet back from the myth of the great rock touring band and how glorious it is. But one night I was playing. I still have it, but the Steinberger electric guitar. which, if you don't plug in an electric guitar and you just play it by itself, it usually doesn't have an awful lot of sound if it's a solid body guitar, and this was. And so I was in the back of the bus, and I just pulled it out in the wee hours, and very quietly was just doing some fingerstyle stuff and playing a standard. I don't even remember what it was, but I think, Jenna, you were maybe walking back and forth down the middle of the aisle, or I don't know whether maybe you couldn't sleep or something. I don't remember what was going on. But
Catherine and Serena and I would be huddled. We were the 3 women on the tour bus with like 18 guys, and we're like, ah. And yeah, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, and so
That's what happened.
You had heard me plunking some jazz standard, and I think you'd asked, wait, you play jazz? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, I'm trying to, but I love playing jazz, even though I don't know that consider myself a jazz guitarist, but I do love jazz. And you said, well, you sing it, and we both thought, well, we should play some duets sometime. And we, I think at one time we got together for a second just to kind of try playing a couple of tunes, but I think it was I don't know whether we were in between gigs in New York City or something.
Yeah.
But shortly thereafter, I think you were with the band about 3 years, and I think you were on maybe 3 of the albums. And I stuck around, and I think I'm on 7 or 8. I can't remember how many of them, but I was around for a while with that group. And then when you left after those 3 years, I think you went back to the Bay Area, right?
I did. Because my other band, the Waybacks, started getting, yeah.
Yeah. And I stayed in
and
New
I had
York
a shoe thrown at me, so I decided it was time to leave the band.
Yeah. The flying shoe.
A flying shoe.
And so I'm not sure in those days whether I even had a computer in the early 90s, mid 90s, whenever it was. I can't remember when we toured with that, but eventually I got a little desktop computer, because I think then, what was it, 17 years later? Was it 16 or 7?
You know that on Facebook, where unless you take it off, which I have since then, it's a thing that says people you may know, and then you see photos of people you may know. There was Rolf. It's 17 years later, I see Rolf. Yeah.
Right. Less hair and more gray.
Longer beard.
Right. And because Jenna was coming to New York City for a music conference, and so I think you had sent out messages maybe to more than just me saying, "Hey, who's still around?" But I can't remember whether that's the case or not. It was a long time ago.
Just you.
Okay. Well, either way, I said, "Well, yeah, I'm still around," and so we figured out when, given your schedule coming into New York with the music conference, there was a window of maybe a couple of hours, and so we met at a coffee shop on the Upper East Side or something?
Upper West Side.
Upper West Side, okay. And it was cold. I remember it was cold.
January.
Yeah, and we had some tea, and we, what have you been doing, and what have you been doing, and we both handed each other stacks of CDs of different things that we'd recorded and different bands we'd been in, just to get caught up a little bit. And we said, hey, if we're going to put this duo together, we better get started, because
we're getting old.
Yeah, time is screaming by. And we actually looked at our books and figured out that the first time that we'd be able to get together again would be June. So it was like 6 months later. But, we set it up so that, Jenna, you came out to New York, I think it was in June, and you arrived one day. We got together, I think, at the apartment where you're staying, and just put a whole bunch of tunes down on the floor and looking through them and trying to figure out what tunes we could do. The next day we had a gig at Silvana, right?
During the World...
Yes, during the World Cup.
The World Cup, Soccer Cup, and we were in Harlem, and
Yeah. We were competing with cheering people. So it was rugged beginning for a nylon string guitar and voice. But we did that. We did that gig on the second day, and then the third day we went into the studio, and we were still trying to figure out what tunes we should do and what keys we were going to do them in, and that we basically recorded the first CD that third day, and then you had to fly back, and I got together with Frank Fignano, an engineer in New Jersey, who's marvelous, and we went through and mixed and put together the CD. And that was our first CD called Spark. Yeah.
And then we have another CD called Begin to Dance. And we're working on a third. So.
Yeah.
So that's our story. That's how we started together, and continue to roll on.
And I'm sure that Serena perhaps is left to another channel on her computer, but Serena was one of the cellists in the group at that time, and so she was right in the thick of it. And so
Todd Reynolds, Catherine Bent, Serena, and Liz Knowles.
Liz Knowles,
and
yes. Yeah.
Lots of fun people. Yeah, it was good. It was really cool. Okay,
yeah, and
go ahead.
I think Daniel Sedownik played percussion for a minute.
Daniel Sedownik, Screaming Headless Torsos.
Right, and we had Bob Braylove and Tom Constantin from the Grateful Dead, who were both playing keyboards with us for a minute, back in the early days.
Yeah, we had a good time. And my brother Nino, so it was cool. We got to hang out and tour, and we toured in Canada, coast to coast. We did it.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. And now we're here. And
right.
you're there. I'm here and you're there. And we're supposed to be here right now. Having a stout at the livery.
Well, hopefully we're all where we are, and hopefully we're all healthy.
Doug of Doug Corvus. Doug is on right now, so we have New Jersey.
Oh, great.
New Jersey's
Hello,
in
Doug.
the house. Louisville, New Jersey, Arizona, St. Joe, Berkeley, Seattle, Atlanta, Mexico, Connecticut. Yeah, there's people. My Mama Grace is here somewhere. Hi, Mama Grace. I love you.
Great. Hello.
And Jeanette's letting me. This is Jeanette's phone, so thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you, Jeanette. Thanks to Jeanette and Mitch. And
yeah, thank you, Mitch.
Yeah.
For sure. So anyway.
And I got your message, and I'm sorry if I didn't respond, but there was the prospect of us playing at LOA Bar or Loa Bar in New Orleans in October, right? Because Jazz Fest has been moved.
Jazz Fest has been moved to the weekend of October 16th and the weekend of October 23rd, which is my birthday weekend. So, yeah, so hopefully that's going to happen, and
cross fingers.
Yeah, that'll be part of our, the gigs that have not happened will happen again.
Right.
Thank
Just
you,
later.
LOA, International House Hotel.
Big thank you. Yeah, International House Hotel. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just burning. But if you would like to, who's this? Oh, Eric, hi. And good night. I learned, people text Rich waving good night to all, Jem and Rolf. Maybe we could do perhaps somewhat of a lullaby, maybe.
Well, again, I'll play. I'll just lay down I just have an acoustic guitar with me, but I'll just lay down a bed in sort of a minor key and float over top because our time won't be in sync in this format,
Sounds good.
Okay.
You're here tonight. You made my night so right. Life is different now. We'll sit and wow for all to be. I wish you love. I wish you peace in your heart. And we'll breathe in love. And we'll breathe out strength. And we wish you good night. Sleep tight. I miss you, Rolf Sturm.
Oh, I miss playing so much, but
Yeah.
We'll work as we can.
We'll work as we can. Well, I always, this seems to happen. I look at the number of people that are on, and there are 11 people. So I think that's a good time to say,
To ring off.
yeah. Thanks, Rolf.
Great. Thank you so much, Jenna, and good night, everyone. Good night, Jenna. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll just be in touch before too long.
Be in touch. Thanks, you guys.
Great.
Thanks,
Good night.
Rolf. Bye-bye. You're welcome. So tomorrow morning, again, we'll have Gina, and I feel a lot better. I miss being in the presence of his playing and his person. He's just a really good person to be connected with. One more little Palo Santo burn for all of us. See you soon. Good night, Mary. Good night, Jim. Good night, Nicole. Thank you so much. Russ and Pat and Chris. I wish you love, and love hard.